All right, good morning, guys. Quick sound check. Happy Monday. Hope you guys are doing good. Got ourselves interesting little maneuvers here this morning. Okay, sweet. All right, let's see what we can do here. So we got a pretty interesting looking kind of market action here this morning. So we're obviously getting a bit of a gap up here. S&P's up 0.76%, NASDAQ up 0.99, which is obviously the leader there. Russell up 0.16, and then the Dow here is up 0.46 there as well. So I'm keeping an eye on the Dow here, just looking to see if we can't hold this 454 area. And if so, if we're able, to kind of hold that and get a pop, then I think we've got room to maybe try and attack back towards those highs from last week and that 30 or that 53,000 area, 53,021s maybe. At the same time, it's also kind of weak compared to the NASDAQ, which at the moment obviously is the strongest from a percentage change standpoint. But I don't fully trust NASDAQ to hold here either. So just kind of keeping that also in the back of my mind is like, do we really end up, kind of holding here and making this move? So I want to let everything just prove itself. We've got room to pull back to 74.40s for the S&Ps there. And so just not being in a hurry here really for anything this morning and just letting it kind of do its thing. So we'll see how this wants to shape up there. That's a pretty aggressive bar to the downside for the Dow there. NASDAQ, nice little shove to the downside there as well. Looks like we're trying to kind of get back up towards those 634s. S&P's little front run on that pullback there. I say I'm half tempted to long the NASDAQ just to give it the shot. Does the S&P come back down is the question. Well, NASDAQ certainly making that move there. Down, nice little pop there as well. Let's see if we can get pullbacks here in the NASDAQ potentially. What's up? There's room here technically, I guess, to 74.93 50s there for S&Ps. I really thought we'd trade those 74.40s on a pullback, but I guess not. Dow managed to open literally right at the level 457s. We got a total range now of 192 points in there on the day. I was really tempted to take that break back over 634s for the NASDAQ, but it was legitimately 1 minute into the day on a Monday when I just said, hey, I'm going to let it prove some sort of trend here first and then look to do something. But nice move so far in the NASDAQ, 212 point range on the day. Dow getting a big pop there as well. We'll see what this wants to do from a pullback perspective. Russell here might kind of crack down under like 30.21s. But Dow's giving it back a little bit more than I would think there. Just rally and fail maybe. Would be interesting. Dow went right back through that 454s. Maybe S&Ps do come back down and go grab the 74.40s there. This whipsaw back and forth here. That'll be not what I was expecting. You just can make an argument up over opening print there for the Russell, but that is the weaker market on the day. Probably doesn't make a ton of sense to look to trade that one compared to S&P or NASDAQ, for example. Easy come, easy go, apparently, for a green bar today. Russell right back up here. NASDAQ trying to press back into these 634s. Looks like we did. We traded 635 quarters there. A little front run of that so far. There's nothing super clean. You could make an argument for NASDAQ coming off the 635s, opening print area. The problem is, where do you think it goes? S&P's trying to hold and push back through there a little bit. I don't know if I see a like strong trend day just straight to the upside here for S&Ps and NASDAQ. I could certainly see us trying to push up towards those 74.93s for the S&Ps, and obviously Dow holding, that 454 as I mentioned as well. I just don't know how far we go, like outside of S&P's trading 74.93s. It's like from there, then what, I mean, I guess NASDAQ technically could try and go back to like 3260s. So like 500 points from here. It's already up 369 points on the day though. So like, how much are we really asking out of this thing today? I kind of want to try some S&Ps, just like see if it wants to run up into 93s, but it's like, yeah, there's like 15 points here. I don't really know where to stop it though. You give it 64s, it's like risk 12 to make 15s. It's not great. It probably works, but it's not great. Maybe it'll give us like something a little bit better here inside like a 2 minute, potentially. The trend looks to be there. There's Dow making new highs. Russell might do it here. 30-60s, there it is. That's the weaker one. That's the one I want to see like actually move with stuff if we're going to be able to do something with it. Would have just had to take the breakout on the S&Ps there. But it looks like that thing wants to run to 74.93s. So I don't really know where this goes. Russell kind of came back hard. NASDAQ coming back fairly hard there now too. It probably holds. We almost look like we're trading like low volume. Like how we're just kind of like bouncing around the way we are. We're not necessarily skipping, we're just kind of bouncing. Tough to like describe the price action unless you're like watching it here. It's not super fast. It doesn't seem like it's a ton of like liquidity and like actual movement, but it's like this little bottoming tail here was 73 points for NASDAQ. Like that's a pretty large move. It seems like it's trading clean. It's just kind of bouncing, I guess. I don't know how to describe that. Russell's weak though. Russell's crashing through this opening print area. It did technically front run those 99.50s down there the other day. I suppose it could be going down there for a retest. Dow's holding up well. NASDAQ holding up okay. Russell not holding up at all. And S&P is holding up okay. This might be the pullback to see if we can long something and try and take it up into 74.93s for like a little scalp play potentially. We're just moving too quick. We're setting that bar now on S&Ps, but it's too big. 74 by 82s. It's like make 10 points, risk 8. I'm like, eh. Dow's making new highs here. NASDAQ 2-minute bar is 111 points. Yeah, jumpy, bouncy. I agree. Nice move in something like Tesla, just straight up there. Met a little gap up and kind of run in there. S&P is about to trade up into these 93s here. Maybe. There's nothing There's nothing on the board either today from a news standpoint, so there's nothing here. Russell's actually trying to reject the opening print and go lower. Like I said, maybe it goes back down and rechecks 99.50s because it front ran yesterday, Friday. Let's trade at 1540s there. Russell did trade right up into that 30.22s. S&P's little front run of the level up there, now pulling back some. NASDAQ getting the most though. 689s. Total range on the day, 281 points for the NASDAQ. It is a hit it and quit it type of day though. Given the way this thing's trading, it's just like, just tap it, get your little piece, and get out at this point, just the way we're moving. I don't know that that's necessarily going to be a good thing from like a trying to trade it standpoint. And if you were still trying to hold like NASDAQ or something, you know, from down here earlier, like within 2 minutes, you basically just erased what took damn near 30 minutes to try and develop and move. So I think that's great. The Russell did just make new lows, only market to do so. So do we try and hold here after this little shimmy now for NASDAQ and go higher? I mean, we could technically rip back like 150 points, and I don't think anybody would be too surprised. Like you love me, you want me to want you to come on home. I don't blame you down across this room. You look like you love me. And Dow's actually holding up fairly well. I don't really know that there's anything to do in there, but NASDAQ kind of rallying back here. towards that 634s. I'd say if we're waiting for a trend to prove itself on the day, so far neither of those things have come true. One, we don't have a trend, and two, we haven't proven essentially anything here outside of just market is erratic would be about the only thing that I think we could say there. Like I'm really half tempted to long either S&Ps here or NASDAQ. Just assuming that we do more of the same and go right back through highs. I think that makes some sense here. We got the Russell divergence. I just also don't know that I fully trust / like it either way. But if you want it, it's up over like 636s basically. It stops me down here under like basically here. Russell made new lows there. NASDAQ made new lows there. S&P is probably going to make new lows as well. I'd venture to say. Maybe we wait for Russell to get to 99.50s and then look to do something, but then again, we still won't necessarily have a trend and something proven. Price tag on close. Sign on peace of mind. This a condom. S&Ps, we're trying to hold opening print there, 57.50s. I think we just wait for the Russell. See if the Russell wants to come down and go grab that lower level there. NASDAQ could completely ruin that and get back over 636s here, but tried some gold shorts. Yeah, gold working a little lower. I just have a feeling that we're gonna like snap this rally back. I just don't know if it's gonna be from opening print here or 74.40s for S&Ps. The Dow trying to prove that it wants something there. I think we still either wait for 74.40s on S&Ps to trade. A nice little divergence in there wouldn't be terrible. That doesn't necessarily give us our trend that we were initially kind of looking for. Or NASDAQ up over 636s is potentially on the board there. New lows for NASDAQ there. S&Ps might go ahead and get this 74.40s here. We're getting there. $43.75 traded there. We did get new lows. And Russell getting a little bit of movement back up. I don't think it's anything crazy. The Dow probably looks the best, honestly, from a long perspective. That high is 684, like what, 130 points, 140 points from here. Here's that 40-30s for gold. Although NASDAQ doing what it's doing is not the greatest thing from a market standpoint. That weekly chart is tough to assume that we're going to try and just rally that back this week in NASDAQ. It wouldn't be too surprising to see this weakness here, but Dow coming back down towards that low. Russell coming back down towards those 29.99s. S&P's here about to hit 74.40s. Does not seem to care. Red dress fall to the floor. Down, take it nice and slow. S&P's 74.40, 75s traded there. Russell just a little bit shy of that 29.99 50s. No, I didn't. It was a little front run of that 93s up there. Wonder if S&Ps can at least bounce back to opening print from here and see what it looks like once that happens. I don't know. We're fairly weak. That's not the greatest thing, I don't think, to see. Yeah, we got real weakness across the Dow there too. Russell's right down into this 29.99.50s now though. Yeah, I don't think we can do anything with this. The long idea, we just didn't end up being able to hold where we needed to, I don't think. Which is super unfortunate because I feel like that actually had decent opportunity. Dow's actually rallying back up here a little bit. I don't know if it'll get through that 454s or not. Russell kind of cracking there. S&P's new lows. Well, matching lows, I should say. We would need rallies to short at this point, but I don't even know what that looks like. Nasdaq's 230 points beneath where the closest level is. If we rally 230 points back, I don't know that I'll necessarily be thinking about shorts again, but that Russell rejected off the opening print there. Came straight down here into the level. And then some. 29.69 is below. Easy come, easy go. Market got a nice little rally there initially. We got a 491 point range so far on the day here, though, for NASDAQ now. That's actually fairly impressive. Can never get yourself to take the new high divergence, but I'll take the new low divergence any day. I mean, it would have looked a whole lot better if we had traded those 93s up there for S&Ps. Like that would have made more sense from a short divergence standpoint. Like, we're just not getting anything on the downside at the moment, or from new lows. There's no divergences here. There's nothing. It's been straight 20 minutes of selling pressure, no real rallies. 2 minute little retest right there, back up to 636s, which was like, hey, now if we're anticipating and waiting for longs, we need to get back up through that. We never did. And like, what's crazy is I'm looking at like Amazon here is holding up. Like Amazon is sitting, I mean, damn near at new highs on the day at the moment. I'm like, how does that work? Meta actually as well. That's actually not a bad. Meta is not a bad long at the moment. It's kind of standing on its own. You could put stops like kind of right under here, 564s. There's a level in place here, 566, 51s. This actually isn't bad at all. It's doing its own thing, independent of the market today. Yeah, no, Amazon's doing its own thing too. These meta options are expensive. Dow traded up there, getting rejected some now. Meta actually looks good. I have the 570s for today kind of queued up here. They're like $2.20. The stop is just about $1 wide on these. I don't think it's bad, honestly. If you're thinking you want a little risk on in Meta, I don't think it's bad. I don't know where she wants to go, but certainly higher. As long as it continues to hold here. Might be better off waiting on this close, but That's really not going to change the stop on it. Still have to be down there, same price. It's either that or you look at buying Amazon, which is already aggressively moved today. These contracts are losing premium here. 201s at the moment. Russell trying to rally back to that 99.50s here. S&Ps are probably going to try and rally back up to the 74.40s. There's a really tight little 2-minute here on Meta. It's kind of developing now. I don't know if market's done going down yet though. The Dow might be. S&P's NASDAQ, different story though. Oh yeah, I've been talking. Meta's maybe ruining its little tight little 2-minute here. I only got 6 minutes to go on that. I might as well just see where it closes. It's bad timing for long, but also probably decent timing for longs as well. I just don't know where market goes. Is the only thing. There's a little 2 minute right here in Meta. It's basically $2 by like 150. You could let this 2 minute finish out here. It's about $1.93 at the moment, $2 there. That's actually really nice. I'm looking at the Meta 570 calls for today, so they are 0 DTEs. But I think it looks good. High day here is 570.90s. If we do manage to make that move, those contracts go back up over $4, potentially more, right? So risk reward wise, I think it's still fine too. RTY, I would be interested in buying a pullback there. Nice pop on those metas. They just traded up to $2.90, now 270s on those. Really, really nice move so far to start that off. You can play them with a little bit light, a little looser on the stop, still down at that $1 area, but I think they look good. We've got S&Ps back to 7440s. I think the Russell has that divergence down there. It just pushed a little further than I wanted to see through 29.99.50s, but it's recovered it pretty well. And I think that the Dow did a good job of holding this 454s. It didn't seem like it was going to, but it certainly does now. Like this actually doesn't look terrible. The way this is kind of constructed, that 15 minute actually looks really nice in there. The problem now is the stops are freaking ginormous. It's 260 point range, 15 minute bar. S&Ps are right back into 7440s. So I kind of want to see Russell come back down here, or Russell get up over opening print, and I'd be down to do something in there. I don't want to just long it here though, like 30-10s after a 23-point 15-minute bar straight back up. I do think it's obviously going to try and hold this close, and I think S&Ps might as well. NASDAQ, I doubt it. That's 150 points we got to move in the next 90 seconds. Damn, Tesla. NASDAQ might just do it. Who knows? That'd be kind of nuts. The high in this, 684s. Doesn't really justify it. I almost feel like I could see us getting a news type bar here. High day up there is 840s for NASDAQ. We technically still have room to 74.93s for S&Ps. It honestly wouldn't be all that surprising to see us just make that move. If it's just straight up, though, that's going to be obnoxious. We still don't really have a trend on the day, which, again, kind of makes sense that we could just pop up there and then kind of fade back into the range. And not really go too far through that. It's just kind of popping up through those highs. Like I said, I don't really have a way to play Russell unless we get up through there. NASDAQ at 590s, it's like, eh. My charts are slow at the moment too, I feel like. S&Ps are at opening print here. See what S&Ps do on any kind of pullback, maybe to 74.40s if it can. There's a whole lot of like, maybe we can do this, maybe we can do that type of thing. And then when we actually get remotely close to doing said thing, it just gets ruined by something else. And then we move, 20, 30, 40 points. It's kind of obnoxious. We got a total range on the day in the Dow here for 360 points, and it's literally straight up, straight down, straight back up. We're looking at basically the same picture in the S&Ps and NASDAQ as well. Meta looking good there again. Came back one more time for that shimmy, but we did ultimately get that close. Nasdaq initially rejecting here a little bit. When I say a little bit, legitimately a little bit. Like 15, 20 points off of, I guess we traded 606s. 30 points off the level after we just rallied 330 points back to the upside. The Dow is just chugging higher though. That's crazy. S&P sitting right on opening print there. Nasdaq trying to come back up here. If we can push up through 636s, then I think Nasdaq might have a shot. That low is 560s just now. It's like what, 80 points? It's kind of a lot, but it probably tries to do it. There's new highs there for the Dow. So far, only market to do so. Immediately shot down 20, 30 points there. 40 points. Like I say, there's kind of an idea for a Russell long. But I don't know if it's the greatest timing with the Dow making new highs. A little pullback, not really going anywhere just yet though. That low is 0880s. pulled back to 624 is there for the Dow. I'm going to try a little Russell here. I like it with stops just under this 0880s. We could be a little bit early on this if the trend doesn't flip right here. But if we do flip right here, we've got a really tight, like legitimately less than 3-point stop. 0880s is that low. So yeah, I'm going to give the Russell a shot here. Even just back up to opening print is like 11 points on a 3-point stop. Like I like that. I'm okay with it. I'm going to put hard stops in on this at 0820s for me. The premium decay is hitting these meta contracts pretty hard, but they're still decent. They're at $2.46 here, $2.50, give or take. So if you took that, it still looks good. I think it's there. It's still got the potential to make the move. The biggest thing in there is like it could go to like 590s. It could go to 570s and call it quits. There's a couple different areas up there for it to go to. The Dow pulled back to 623s there. What you got, honey? NASDAQ here. Can't quite get the move. Russell looks pretty decent. I'm gonna go pee. I'll be right back. About to get taken out here on the Russell. Nope, take that back. Already did get taken out on the Russell. Do we go back lower? That's literally one of the things I said. It was like if we rally back to 634s, then I'm not necessarily going to be super interested in thinking for shorts just because we've had such a large rally back. But we legitimately just did that, and now we're rejecting off these 634 so far. We did trade the 647 quarter opening print and get rejected from there as well. That's tough. That's tough because we sweeped overnight lows too. Low of the day is 273.75s. I don't know. I can't say that I love this. I'm down a little bit here just from the Russell trade, but I'm not super interested in trying to make that back with this price action. Meta failing there. Kind of crazy it didn't get like as much of a rally as overall indices did there on that move. Amazon pushing though. It's 1049. We don't really have to do anything here. I gotta go to Home Depot later and get some black caulk. CAULK. Not to be confused. Nice clarification. Yeah, you got to. 2026, you know what I mean? All right, Russell might be back to where it needs to be. NASDAQ as well, potentially there. I'd love a little bit of a tighter entry here, but $635s. Home Depot's got it all. I got black caulk, white caulk, clear caulk. A little shot of silicone injection if you need it. Beautiful you always will be. That I'm caring. I feel like you could try NASDAQ here on this 15-minute, but that low is all the way down to 29,500s. Goodness gracious. Sit and talk about the weather. So women sit and talk about old men. No, I'll be faithful. Looks like a short on NQ. I mean, if we get up through 634s, I don't think so. And I kind of like the S&Ps. This might be what I trade. I kind of like the S&Ps a little bit better there, honestly. Ain't in love with your head. I took a little bit of S&Ps there. Let's see if we can't get this up into 74.93s. I've already forgotten everyone but you. I'm gonna love you forever. Forever and ever. It's kind of wild. We go from talking about Black Hawk to singing Randy Travis, I'm gonna love you forever. It's bad timing for that song. I'll be faithful. Listen to how the song is. So I'm gonna love you. Forever and ever. Nice little start there on that. Easy come, easy go. I'm just waiting for the big, like, quick, swift bar to the upside that comes out of nowhere and makes absolutely zero sense. And we just rally. I'm kind of looking for Russell. It's already moving too much. 30-12s would have been like that entry. Maybe not a bad thing to miss. You could have NASDAQ as well, just pulled back to opening print. We're up over that 634s. I kind of want the Russell just because it has the room, but it's also the weaker market on the day. It's technically the only market that's red. I kind of think it plays catch up, but that thought process hasn't really worked super well recently. If something is the weaker market, it's just not playing the catch up. So I'm gonna let it be. We'll see what S&Ps want to do. If not, then I'm totally cool with just walking away and letting whatever this is just do its thing. My charts also feel a little slow. Spin you round and round this dance floor. Love like mine. I'll steal a couple kisses. What y'all do just up like my right line. Part of me wants to try this Russell again, but yeah, NASDAQ short invalidated. I wouldn't try shorts on NASDAQ now. We look like we honestly want to go grab those highs. Which is 840s. It's another 100 plus points away. I do think S&Ps are going to try and push to 74.93s. Another like 20 points to go in there, give or take. That high a day is 74.90s exactly. NASDAQ doesn't seem to care here. Still continuing to push higher. Russell, however, pushing lower at the same time. That's the problem with that weaker market at the moment, is I just don't think we can get the move that we probably should. If it's going to be just an all NASDAQ kind of thing here, which it looks like it is, even compared to the S&Ps. Kind of looking like I probably should have taken NASDAQ instead of S&Ps there, but nothing I can do about that. Push. I mean, I would like to see the Russell move and the Dow move with this, so it's not just the NASDAQ. But at the moment, it doesn't seem like it matters because it is just strictly all NASDAQ here. Can my chart change, please? I'm going to see if S&Ps can trade these 5750s opening print and then see what we want to do from there. I'm going to keep an eye on the Russell, maybe coming down to recheck that 99.50s. It is getting a little bit of a shimmy at the moment, but I don't know that that's enough for me to go, yeah, we can get back in that or not. I don't. And again, it is the weaker market, so it's like, is that the thing that we really want to be messing with? It potentially could be. Meta ultimately ended up failing there. No pullback yet to 5750s here for S&Ps. It's a decent looking 5-minute bar for the Russell. Nasdaq here. Nasdaq looks good. It's S&Ps. It's just waiting for that opening print test, I think. And then it can get a move. That's what I'm thinking at least. I wouldn't mind an entry off of 5750s here for S&Ps. Add to this position here. And be able to bring stops up. And then look to see if this can't go 74.93s. If we don't get that though, then I might just call it after this S&Ps one way or the other. Nasdaq seems strong, like it wants to go get the push up into new highs there, but nothing else really being able to kind of participate yet. S&Ps are trying. That low was 58 there. Here's 57.50s. If it holds, nothing so far. Entries would be up over 59.50s at the moment. We might see Russell tag this 99.50s and the Dow trade back to 454s. This would essentially be the spot. If we lose this, then we probably just fade back into the range and there's really nothing else we can do on the day. At least nothing else I would want to do. $59, let's see if we can get up through there. We traded 462s there on the Dow. The high of this bar is 62.50s on 5-minute chart. There's your Russell 29.99 50s. All right, S&Ps, you can go now. You can go. Just going up to 74.93s. I think that should have been it. I was looking at the Russell potentially something we can do here, but S&P's kind of came right back there. Wait till test. Keep on moving. NASDAQ looking pretty decent there. S&Ps keep on pushing. So we got longs and S&Ps here, looking for 74.93s up there. It's about 30 points. Meanwhile, we've got a weak Russell. Does not seem, S&Ps, NASDAQ do not seem to care. More specifically, NASDAQ does not care. And that technically still has room, another 120 odd points, give or take, to push up there. See if we want to make it work. I'm slowly getting more and more just not interested. We're right back here at the entry. If we get a rally from here again, I'd want to see it get up over 74.67s there. But we're literally retesting opening print here. It's a range bound type of day. This is going to be annoying. And I don't really want to deal with that if it is. I think there were some opportunities for some attempts at like scalps and stuff on the day, but it wasn't super clear that's the type of day it was going to be. until a little ways in there. Which I think made it a little bit more difficult, but yeah, I agree. I think it just needs to get the random pop here out of nowhere. Dow's technically trying to hold this 454s again. Russell is the weakest market on the board by far today. Like that's super evident. Google's actually just like chilling with a slow rally to the upside. S&Ps might be done. Oh, I'm half tempted to just close. Such a big target though. Like 5 or 6 points worth of risk for like 36-point target is kind of ridiculous. I don't know if we hold though. You know, I'm giving it one shot here. We did just kind of tick under that little low there for a second. $54.75, traded 53s. We gotta get back up over the opening print now. We might get a divergence in the Russell. I don't know. I think there's something being told here with the way S&Ps, Nasdaq are trading compared to, I would say Russell Dow, but Dow's not really doing anything wrong. Might have a shot here if it can manage to hold. It might be good. It might be good. I think we're looking good. I think we're looking good. Russell back here at 99.50s. Is it going to hold, ladies and gentlemen? I wish I could talk like an auctioneer. The dude that used to do it was freaking ridiculous. S&Ps, we waiting on you. I mean, we have a pretty good position on here from a risk reward standpoint, from everything. I just want to see us be able to get, you know, a nice move out of this now. Russell managed to come back up and hold that too as well, but it didn't retest 99.50s now. I guess you could be long the Dow from 454s. NASDAQ, those highs were what, 840s? I might pull down and get that retest now for the Russell. Oh. Next to you from makeup. Amazon just had a weird little thing there. It is pretty rough. There we go. Russell actually getting a nice move there. Just waiting on this to make a move. The Russell making like the nicest move out of all of them now. And it's like, it didn't make sense because it was the weaker market, so it didn't really make sense to do anything with it. But holding back again off that 99.50s was pretty important, I think. We're just not really getting the movement that we need in order to get this to kind of get up into the what would be targets for this. There's technically room to like 30, 36s, so there's still 30 points worth of room for the Russell. But again, we really can't do anything with it until over 30.22s, which is tough. Come on, S&Ps, just go do it, please. I asked nicely. I said please. Finally, we're getting some movement here. We might see NASDAQ make new highs and set a divergence, which would be kind of unfortunate because then that would essentially negate the idea that we can make it all the way to 93.50s, but we'll see here. There's like a 5 minute little 1, 2, 3 type of look here. Yeah, no, we're not quite getting this push here. Like NASDAQ still has another like 50 points to go to get those highs. No, we're definitely getting a slow grind here. If we can get a little bit more of a push, then I think we'll be okay. There's still 20 points to go. Nasdaq looks like it's going to try and pop and get these highs here. Yeah, or not. Like, why would we do that? Why go get new highs? so bored I might look at Pinterest. I don't even know what I'm going to look for yet, but well, that's how bored I am at the moment with this. Damn, first thing I see is a cheesy garlic chicken wrap. That looks pretty freaking fire. Okay, okay, Pinterest. My entire Pinterest is nothing but food at the moment, so. A loaded bacon cheeseburger Alfredo pasta. Yeah, I gotta get away from that. Oh, that looks way too good. Russell just slowly faded back down. NASDAQ looks like it wants to go ahead and pop these highs. Again, I don't really know where we go. I mean, I guess technically, like I said, there's a ton of room to the upside. I don't care how far NASDAQ really wants to go. Like, that's totally fine wherever it does want to go. I'm just looking at the S&P's target there at 74.93s and just looking to see if we can't, go up and get that. Insert things I'd rather do than watch this memes. I'm about there. If we can get NASDAQ to get new highs, then I might just have to trim some on S&Ps, which is unfortunate because we only really have like 12 or 13 points in it here. I think there's like another 24, 25 points to go. But it probably doesn't make sense to just continue to keep that risk on. Traded 3,000 there on the Russell. 1158. Bro, you know what I think I'm having for lunch though is, on a real note, Chipotle. A little Chipotle. Here we go, NASDAQ. Go get your new highs. 845s traded. Yes. Thank you. S&P is getting dragged to the upside. 74, 75s. No signal there in the NASDAQ, so we look pretty decent. Come on. Nice NASDAQ move there. Still just waiting on this S&Ps, 74, 77s. I'd love to start taking some profits up at new highs in here, 74.90s and the 74.93 50s. I mean, it's not nice, but we are at least making new highs now. Total NASDAQ range is fairly wide. It's 500 plus points at this stage of the game. Let's see. It's also 12:04. I didn't realize what time it was. $596 point range on the day for the NASDAQ. That's kind of wild. S&P's highs 74.90. $91.75 would essentially be the average on the exit up there. That's not terrible. It's not terrible. I would like that. Just going up there. Going up there. Feel like I should probably take some, but I don't think I had anything up here. Mm-mm. I mean, I see what you're looking at, but no, it doesn't technically qualify. I'm debating if there's something else we can do here, or if we should just go ahead and take some profits on S&Ps or not. Russell is trying to move. Let's see if we can't get a little bit of a pullback here in the Russell potentially. I'm so happy never felt so. Bought a boat and I sailed off in it. Don't think anybody's gonna miss me anyway. Russell might be the long now. Russell pulling back. NASDAQ new highs there. I'm getting absolutely bored. Anytime now we can get a big green candle and go, push those 74.93s and just be done and over with would be great. That might be it on a pullback there for the Russell. We've been saying that a couple different times though. I still would rather just see the S&Ps go up and get targets and then we can call it good and be done on the day, but has yet to happen. NASDAQ, of course, just continuing to go get new highs because we're long S&Ps, not NASDAQ, so there's that. Tesla, on the other hand, this thing is making a move today. Let's see what this weekly looks like. Yeah, that's an impressive move. I don't know where this thing goes, but it's got a nice looking move so far to start the week off. You could potentially get a pretty decent move. Can we go get those highs, please? For S&Ps. Oh, I wanted to leave and go get the stuff I need to get and be done with this trade, but it just continues to hang in here. We've got decent profits. I mean, we're up about 20 points here in the S&Ps, and I'm looking for just a little bit more, like another 15 points or so would kind of put us right where we need to be. Would be much appreciated, S&Ps, if you could just go do that. Like the longest stream in history, and it's basically just been one trade. The Russell trade earlier was quick. I'm half tempted to just close here and walk away. This Tesla rally is impressive. I think I'm just watching this thing 403s, 404s now. There's nothing to do with it right here, but I mean, we do have a couple of strong NASDAQ names, which are certainly leading this move. I'd like to see a quick little push to the upside here. Just get it over with. But that isn't happening at the moment, so maybe we get it from right here. Otherwise, I might just either close this or put a stop in and walk away because I did say that that was going to be a problem, is if Nasdaq did push those highs, got new highs, and then S&Ps didn't, we could end up in a situation where we've got the divergence up there and then start to pull back. So it's not completely unexpected to think this here, but I just don't want to let it come all the way back to essentially the entry here. I've still got like 15 points in it here. Oh, but there's still 20 points to go. I think I might just close it and walk away. That's probably the smart move here. I'm trying to give it a minute here, but we just got a new bar. Just one more pop. You can do it. I got faith in you. Nice little candle there out of the NASDAQ, trying to push back to the upside. We actually just pulled down, we took out that prior low. Yeah, 848s, we traded 843s. Stop and down. Stays the same. Everything changes. Everything changes. Marches on. Time marches on. Time marches on. Come on. Oh my goodness. This is taking forever. I've been sitting here for 3.5 hours at this point. I think that this little pullback here is going to turn into the low for this next leg to the upside. So 74.70s, looking like that's what that'll be. And if that's the case, then we can get some trail stops in here at some point, but I want to at least let it have some room to try and push back towards these highs again one more time before we do that. I don't want to choke it out here. NASDAQ 5-minute pullback, sets, triggers, does get a little bit of a 15-minute shimmy there on it, and now pushing back up towards highs here. We might just have a runaway day on NASDAQ, which would be kind of surprising, I think, but if this holds and continues to rip, then I don't know where we go. Another 250 points to the upside, maybe. NASDAQ looking like it wants to go get new highs now, just 10 points or so away. 907 quarters are those highs up there. Looking good in the NASDAQ. S&P's here, could use a little work. It's not really doing anything wrong, just taking forever. Russell here. It could be good. Mm-hmm. 903 traded there for NASDAQ. If NASDAQ's just leading the way today, then eventually S&P's probably follow. There's a ton of room in the NASDAQ. It's kind of the thing I'm looking for is just drag the S&Ps with it, I guess, at this point. New high day for NASDAQ there. We do have a new hourly bar here. Russell doesn't look terrible in the new hourly bar. I think now it's more so the Dow that's the laggard, not really getting the move as opposed to the Russell. NASDAQ new highs. S&P is still waiting. NASDAQ just on a tear. NASDAQ catching a little weakness there off highs. Oh, I'm half tempted to just close and be done. I've been saying that for a while though. No, I haven't taken a trim or anything yet. I'm about to just close it and call it. Yeah, I was hoping we get a little bit more movement before I did that, just in case. But it seems like anything under 74.70 should be safe. I kind of want to see the Dow or the Russell get like a nice push and see that it's not just like NASDAQ kind of carrying this market to the upside, which at the moment it is. We're up 1.8% on the day in there. Russell's technically still red on the day. We're down like 15 points in there. So it's like, I'd like to see a little bit of confirmation across the board on something else, and then we could just put a stop in. I mean, it hasn't, like I said, it hasn't done anything wrong, and it's technically obviously green for us at the moment. It's just literally taking forever. We could probably put a stop at break even and hold it the rest of the day and either, you know, hero or zero basically on it, assuming that maybe we want to get through 74.93s. It's got a lot of room to go if that happens. I don't know if that's the right way of doing it today or not, but like I said, I'd like to see this Russell and Dow start to make a bit of a push, kind of get off this 454, get off this 29.99.50s a little bit further, and then really start moving from there. The hourly 15, everything looks pretty decent on the Russell. I like it a little bit better than the Dow. Obviously, we just haven't made the move yet, so if we can kind of see that shift, which we're maybe starting to. This is the biggest bar we've seen out of the Russell in a while. It's actually a pretty decent looking little 5-minute bar there. You can do it. Take the S&Ps with you. It's like another 10 or 12 points. This can realistically rally just to get back to opening print. Let's go S&Ps. Just go do it. At this point, I don't even care about making any more money on the trade. I just want to be done with it. Push up into the close. I want to leave. Like, none of these suggestions. It's 1 o'clock. Like, what are we doing here? It's 1 o'clock and we got freaking 18, 19 points in the S&Ps here. Like, I'm not complaining because it's a decent position. But just like, can we move? Like, is that too much to ask? Like, we're not talking about a crazy move here either. Gotta pee again though. All right, I'm gonna let this try and make a move here. I'll be right back. I got to pee. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put trail stops in here and just walk away. It's 1 o'clock at this point. We've got a nice little kind of look going here to the Russell and the Dow, trying to maybe get up through here and start doing something. Nasdaq's making new highs here. S&Ps, I've been kind of waiting to see if we could push up through this 74, 81, 75s, which we're looking like we're about to do now. So we're kind of at that point where it's like, okay, let's go ahead and start not necessarily like taking profits on this, but at least being able to put trails in and kind of lock this in is what I think makes the most sense here, just to try and give this thing the best shot that it can have at running up and going and grabbing those new highs for us up there. So it's still like 13 points to go. So what is that, $650 per contract still, or essentially $65 per contract if you trade micros. So it's not terrible still. There's still room to go. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna look to just kind of tier approach them, and we've got this nice pullback here into 74.70s. So I'm gonna start with some trails there as like kind of a bigger trail, and then I might bring a couple up here under like 74.72s, and then potentially bring some up here under like 74.76s basically, and then just let it kind of have that tiered approach. So we'll still keep some. Obviously, if we get small pullbacks, we can go ahead and lock in a little bit of profits. But if we can get a nice rally out of it, then I think that makes the most sense. So yeah, I think that's the approach here. Nasdaq is an absolute animal today. I don't even know what this range is now. 600, 700 points. It is. My charts are slow. 669 points range on the day. That's a pretty large range to kick off the Monday morning with. Smooth as Tennessee whiskey. That NASDAQ 15-minute chart is kind of wild. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 15-minute bars straight to the upside on the last 3 hours of the day. Has been nothing but a rally for the NASDAQ. That's a little wild. That's a little wild. Anybody have anything on outside, or anybody have the S&Ps on with me? S&P is starting to get the push up through there. That prior high over here, 74.81.75s. We're pushing through now. Just traded 82.50s there. 74.90s is that high up top. If we could go ahead and do that actually before I walk away in the next 2-3 minutes, that'd be awesome. We are starting to get more of a move out of the Russell here. These highs over here are 17.20 and 16s. We're about to take those out. NASDAQ is absolutely different. Have a feeling we should take some S&Ps here. Oh, do. Yeah, let's go S&Ps. Holy mother of hold. Who's still here? Are we doing anything here? For those of you that are still listening in? Chance, take it while you got a chance. If you got a dream, chase it back. You were in queues but sold an hour ago. Yeah, that's a big move. Just watching me hold. I set some orders up here. Small MES from 72 is nice. Yeah, I set some orders up here on the new highs. We'll see if we can't push up through and go take those out. I'm kind of hoping so. Like we're getting super close. We're still full. We have taken 0% of profits yet, and we're like 1 point away from being able to maybe start taking some profits here. I got some orders at 90 quarters, kind of being a bit of a dick for a tick on some of it there. Oh, we got some out. I traded 92s there. I got some orders at 92 quarters. Are you serious? Come on, baby. You can do it. You can do it. I got the rest at 93 quarters here. I'm going to front run that 93.50s, not be a dick for a tick. If we trade 92.75s. You can do it, market. You can do it. You make me wait this long. You make me wait this long. Give me a happy ending here. Give me a happy ending. That's when you know you've been sitting in the dust too long. Start getting delusional. Just finish it and go get the push, please. That'd be great. All right, I'm being a dick for a tick. I'm trying to get this 93 quarter. I have one contract left that I would like for it to fill up here. Held it for this long at this point. Might be foolish. Might be foolish. Just give me the last little bit there. Like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing? You know you're gonna do it. Just do it. Just do it. I'm like 99% out here. I've got legitimately one more order to fill up here. 93 quarters. I had orders at like 90 quarters, 91.75 or 90.75, 91 quarters, 91.75, 92 quarters, and then I held for 93 quarters to get tested here. Oh, sweet. 93 quarters trades, and I am out. Beautiful. Beautiful. 93.50s is that technical target here. I front ran it by a tick, assuming that I wasn't going to be a dick for a tick. We did end up pulling back like 4 points to try and make that extra tick. So it is what it is on that. But overall, I'm super happy with the management on this trade. We really didn't have to do anything other than just like sit here and be bored out of our minds. And I had conversations with ChatGPT. I looked up Facebook Marketplace. I was on Pinterest of all places at one point as well, and just you know, able to manage it accordingly by essentially not doing anything. So that worked out pretty well. I am flat here now, and I'm happy with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and look to skedaddle on the day. We traded a total range here of 84.25 points. That's fairly decent. NASDAQ here, total range. NASDAQ might actually continue to push a little bit. NASDAQ total range, 727 points on the day. That's fairly impressive. 979s on that pullback there is all we traded. So not, honestly, not that all that far off. The highs there, that's a pretty shallow pullback. So yeah, anyways, that's what I got. I'm going to call it a day. Appreciate you guys as always. I'll see you tomorrow. Code MLT, all your favorite prop firms, all those things. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. The longest trade of my life, I feel like, but I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.